So, what's up, Facebook fam? This is Devon Carter from Carter Technologies or CarTek Consulting. We are a cybersecurity consulting firm. Our website is www.cartekconsulting.com. That's CARTEK consulting.com. We got LinkedIn. You can email me at info@cartekconsulting.com and, hit me at CarTek Consulting on Twitter, Facebook, and all that good stuff. So it's been a little while since I've been on Facebook Live because honestly, I just been busy as all get out, right? So for those of you who don't know, I sit on the board of directors for the Raleigh chapter of the Information System Security Association, and my primary duties are as a conference director. We just had our annual conference, our primary fundraiser for the year called Triangle InfoSecon here in the Raleigh Triangle area in North Carolina. And what we were able to do was basically we had over 1,600 cybersecurity professionals came down to the downtown Raleigh Convention Center and just had a phenomenal time. We had great speakers, we had great keynotes. One of them considered the internet godfather. He had spent about 20 years in prison for hacking and so on and so forth. Yeah, they were doing hacking back then too. Um, we had Malcolm Harkins from Silence, really, really big company doing artificial intelligence with regards to like endpoint security. We had over 70 sessions. We had great food. We had Capture the Flag, which is our hacker games. Had all kinds of stuff. So it was a lot of work to get that planned, and we had a great team doing it. And I just want to send a shout out to them in case anybody sees this video. So thank you to our board, thank you to all our volunteers, and just everybody who supported the Raleigh chapter of the ISSA. All our funds, we're a nonprofit. All our funds go to scholarships, they go to training, they go to just whatever you can think of to try to help people in the cybersecurity community. So as I try to kind of get back acclimated to Facebook Live and go back into things, I came across this article on LinkedIn. The article was from bbc.com or .org. I can't remember which one. And basically, it caught my eye because it was talking about uh, issues with some government employees. And the issue they were having was the government employees were using their government issued laptops and computers to visit pornographic sites pretty regularly. And as a result, those computers, laptops, desktops got infected with malware or computer viruses, which in turn they took back to the office and infected the corporate network. Now, I'm sure many of you or any of you who see this video say, well, that's just stupid. Why would you do that? Well, who knows why they did it? Just dumb. But it happens actually quite a bit. A lot of people don't realize, that things like that can happen. And so, in reading that article, it was just kind of funny to me when I started kind of seeing some similarities there, right? So, you think about it, they go to this unknown website that they probably shouldn't be at, uh, you know, viewing or doing whatever it is that they want to do on the site. And as a result, they catch a virus. And so I was seeing a lot of similarities between, like sexually transmitted disease. I know that sounds gross or whatever, but just stay with me a little bit. So I kind of got to thinking about that. I was like, man, sexually transmitted disease, huh? Well, if you go to all these computer sites and you're not familiar with them and you have issues and you get viruses, what about electronically transmitted diseases? And so I did a quick Google search, and the only place I could even find that term really used so far, and I didn't search very long, I would admit, was on Urban Dictionary. And basically on Urban Dictionary, they gave me it's pretty straightforward definition. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. Excuse me. Where is it? Where is it? Electronically transmitted disease. So basically, it is when you literally, the definition they gave is the exact scenario that was in this story. When you visit a pornographic site, and as a result of visiting that site, you get infected with a computer virus. That's literally what the definition is. So I was like, wow, I was kind of surprised that I hadn't heard the term before, and I was even more surprised that the only place it was listed was on the Urban Dictionary, right? So, in thinking about this, I just want to talk about it a little bit because I was like, all right, you see all these campaigns out there with sexually transmitted diseases, and it's like, know your status for like HIV and stuff like that. I was thinking, like, you know what, we probably should do like a ETD campaign, electronically transmitted disease campaign, know your status, right? Because a lot of people don't realize just how dangerous the internet has become. It's kind of the wild, wild west. I think most people are familiar with, like computer viruses. You say, oh, I got a virus, right? Or people say Trojans, right? So like a Trojan would be like, think about, Greek mythology and everything. They hide something bad in like a good package, right? Same thing. You go to a website or you download something that's good or you think is good, but inside of it has a piece of malware that can affect your computer. They got, rootkits. They got all kinds of things. For many years, the goal of computer viruses was just to get in and kind of cause disruption and destruction on your networks. Well, now the primary goal of, and I don't want to say viruses, we say like rootkits, and I'll explain that in a minute, is basically to allow people to get into your computer to use it as a command and control mechanism, right? So they want to be able to get into your computer, have it connect back out to them wherever they sit, and then they can control your computer and do whatever they want from it. That's really, really big business right now because now your computer becomes like a drone. It's something they can control and use to hack other places on the internet. So basically, it masks what they're doing through you. So now you become the person who may get in trouble. Doesn't happen very often. They're not really tracking it to you, and we can do forensics and actually figure out exactly where it originated from. But it is another way of masking what they're trying to do. But the big thing I want to talk about, absent viruses or worms, which are basically like viruses, except they're self-replicating. In other words, there's no user interaction that's needed for them to move throughout the network and attach to other people's computers. I want to talk about drive-by downloads. Okay, now I don't know how many people have heard of this, people watching this video, but drive-by downloads is really, really huge, right? Because when you think about it, it is the perfect way to hack somebody. It's the perfect way to infect somebody with a virus. Why or how? Because it's literally a virus that is attached to a website that you visit. It can even be a legitimate website. It doesn't have to be pornographic, although that is the the most highly likely place where you would get a virus by going to those seedy websites and such. And hey, this is a judgment-free zone here. Just know that. But you go to those websites and they have drive-by downloads. Now, what's a drive-by download? Well, it's kind of just like I said. You go to the website and you don't actually have to download or click on anything. Just by you initiating going to that website, it will affect or infect your computer through the website. You didn't have to click. You didn't have to download. There was no executable. It infected your computer just by you merely going to the website. Drive-by downloads. And so what does that really relate to? It relates to our internet usage habits. We got to be careful out there. We can't just be going to any and all websites all willy-nilly. I know that sounds silly. All crazily and just browsing and seeing everything we want. We want to make sure we're going to vetted websites, solid websites, websites that we know have a good reputation, websites that we are familiar with, that we have been maybe recommended to from other people. Because when you start going to these new websites and you think you're downloading something for free, first of all, nothing on planet Earth is free. Everything comes with a cost. Okay, for years, the torrent sites, people would go to the torrent sites and they would download movies and DVDs and software and things like that. And they're like, oh, go check this out. This is free. This is awesome. This is cool. Well, no. Most of the time, those packages, those files had viruses and malware embedded in them for the sole purpose to just cause you issues later on, or to, as I said, gain command control of your device. So nothing is free. When you start when you continue to go to these types of websites that you think you're getting something free, it's not free. It comes with a cost. There's something that's being paid. Okay. The issue is that you have now become the commodity if you think about it, right? Because I don't know if a lot of you watching this know this, but there is an entire black market on what's called the dark web, right? An entire black market. And what they do is when people get command and control of your computer, they now consider your computer what's called a bot. And the more bots that a attacker or a hacker gets, it becomes what's called a botnet. So the more bots that a hacker has in his botnet, he can now sell access to your computers to other people who want to do terrible things. Think about that. So they're literally auctioning off access to your computer. Now that can be for spyware, adware, or scareware. How many of you have gotten pop-ups that saying, oh no, we see on your computer you got 12,000 viruses and you need to click this button and buy this or your computer's going to explode or some ridiculous, thing like that. Well, that's scareware. A lot of companies are doing that. They're still doing it. I hear stories about it all the time from clients and coworkers and such. So the point of this call is, first of all, I really wanted to introduce that term electronically transmitted disease because I think I'm going to try to put together a campaign on it to know your status, understand what's going on, know what you're doing, have safe habits when you're browsing on the internet. Make sure you're not just going to any and all websites. Don't click and download anything. In fact, when you're browsing on the internet, a great practice would be is to make sure you have another account that doesn't have administrative access on the computer. So if you click on something, then you shouldn't have permissions, or your account won't have permissions so they can actually install something if it requires administrative access, right? So avoid using admin access on your computer at all times, especially when you're at home. If you're at work, if they're worth their salt, you shouldn't have admin access on your machine anyway. Make sure you are checking all the things that you need to check. Make sure you have antivirus in place. Okay, it doesn't catch everything, but it's better than having nothing. Okay, if you notice that your computer it starts acting flaky after you go to a website, right? Make sure you take care of that. Scan your computer. If it doesn't find anything, it may be a good idea. And I do this either once or twice a year. I just wipe my computers. I back up all my data. I format the hard drive, and I reinstall the operating system from scratch. That ensures that, or it gives me a much higher probability that I'm safe on my computer for a time until myself or my family members start getting on my computer. So there's just a couple tips. Remember, know your status, electronically transmitted diseases. Don't get them. Be careful. Don't just go browsing and searching anywhere and everywhere without knowing what you're doing. And please just be safe. All right. Practice good internet usage habits. All right. As usual, if you got any questions or you want any more information about what I do as a cybersecurity consultant and business owner, you can hit me at info@cartekconsulting.com. Visit my website, www.cartekconsulting.com. That's CARTEK. I'm on Twitter at CarTek Consulting, Facebook at CarTek Consulting, and you can look for me on LinkedIn. Other than that, y'all have a good evening. Be blessed. Peace.